Hi, good morning, everyone. There's so many people. It's great to see everybody, some familiar faces. I'm going to talk briefly, without any PowerPoint slides, about my project in Ethiopia and how we integrated savings groups into an agriculture program in schools. I'm looking at my former Peace Corps director who many years ago actually put me on a farm in Fiji and said, Robert, go to town. This is your farm to work with these people and figure out how you can improve their livelihoods. At that time in Fiji, in Peace Corps, they were using merry-go-round financing, which is something that's quite popular, I think, in the western part of Kenya as well. Fast forward many years later, I end up at DAI, International Development Company. We are based in Bethesda. We have about 90 projects in 60 countries, and one of them happened to be the USAID-funded Urban Gardens Program. I served as the technical advisor for a few years. The project has since ended, but there were a lot of really great successes and highlights that came out of this project. The objective of the Urban Gardens Program for HIV-affected women and children and those who were mostly OVCs was to improve both their food consumption through small plot agriculture and then selling their surplus products in the local markets. And we were doing this through about 300 community garden sites, and then realized in Ethiopia that the land is all owned by the state. So it's really complex to actually have land tenure and land access. How can we improve this more within some of the OVC, the Orphans and Vulnerable Children? Well, we partnered with the Ministry of Education and then sort of piloted how we could work with schools more effectively. In the end, we worked with 183 schools to develop these small plot agricultural production through targeting of young OVCs. They had to be, it was mostly in middle schools and in secondary schools. In the end, what we ended up doing is seeing that there was great, a lot of social capital that was being built, a lot of interest and excitement around gardening, and we were seeing positively deviant behaviors. So the concept of positive deviance where, outliers who are actually doing really good work are going back to the communities and showing their neighbors and their friends how much they're actually able to produce. Well, what was happening is we were seeing, okay, now they're producing so much food and that they're able to actually sell this, but they're lacking in financial literacy training and they're lacking in access to savings through the informal sector. So I'm looking, I don't see Candace here, but Savings Groups at the Frontier is a book that just came out recently, which I wish came out when I was looking at savings groups a couple years ago. But we established informal savings groups, VSLAs is what they were originally, sort of the former terminology, Village Savings and Loan Associations. But we established 187 VSLAs for youth in the school systems. And what we found is that some of the outcomes were increased savings, increased social capital, the ability to actually stay in school because they had money for their school fees. So overall, I mean, the GSLA model, I know there was a lot of discussion about it yesterday in several sessions. I don't think we need to beat it down some more, but this was a really good model that we used and introduced in schools. On my table over here, I have Candace Nelson's book that I should actually get royalties for talking about it so much. And then, of course, some of our guides that we used on the Urban Gardens Program. I can take your names and your emails, and I'm happy to send them to you or answer any questions. But rather than going into too many specifics, I'll just take private questions at the table. So thank you.